Most people will never get rich, and it is not because they do not make enough money. It is because the human brain is physically wired to misunderstand how time works, expecting linear progress where you put in $1 and simply get $1 back. But money does not walk in a straight line. It crawls, it jogs, and then, right when you are not looking, it teleports. There is a hidden rhythm to wealth that the wealthiest people in the world understand, and the middle class completely ignores. It is not a secret stock pick, and it is not a crypto moonshot. It is a highly predictable mathematical rhythm called the 8-4-3 rule. It is a 15-year cycle that turns ordinary salaries into self-sustaining wealth machines. But here is the catch. The system only works if you survive the valley of disappointment. Let me tell you about a guy named Francis. Francis is smart, makes good money, and decides he wants to build wealth, so he starts putting $500 a month into a standard investment account. He sacrifices, skipping expensive dinners and driving a reliable car while his peers are rolling up in shiny new Autos financed to the hilt. After 3 long years, Francis logs into his account expecting to see an empire, but he sees barely $20,000. He has put in $18,000 of his own hard-earned cash, and the market has given him a measly return that feels like pocket change. He is furious, thinking that if he has to suffer this much just for a tiny profit, he will be 80 years old before he can ever retire. Francis is staring right into the valley of disappointment. This is the exact moment where 90% of people break. Because the growth is slow, the brain invents reasons to quit. People convince themselves the game is rigged, pull their money out to renovate a kitchen or buy a boat, and completely reset their wealth clock back to zero. They walk away right before the physics of their money is about to change. What Francis did not realize is that he was simply trapped in phase 1. The first 8 years of the 8-4-3 rule are brutal. We can call these the boring years. During this time, you are doing all the heavy lifting, packing the snow together to build a snowball, but your hands are freezing and nothing is rolling yet. If you are putting money into the market, your actual returns look tiny compared to what you are sacrificing from your paycheck. The market is like a friend who promised to help you move, but only carries one small lamp while you are hauling the entire couch down 3 flights of stairs. You have to carry the couch. During these 8 years, your contributions matter far more than your returns. You are not investing for massive profits yet. You are investing for critical mass. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's legendary business partner, once pointed out that accumulating your first major wealth milestone is absolutely brutal. He did not care how you did it, advising people to walk everywhere, use coupons, and eat rice if they had to, just to get to that number. He knew that the first block of wealth demands pure, unglamorous discipline. But if you can survive those first 8 years without raiding your account for a kitchen upgrade or panicking when the market drops, something magical happens. You enter phase 2, which is the 4. Years 9, 10, 11, and 12. Suddenly, the resistance disappears. You are still putting in your regular monthly contribution, but now, the market is finally matching you. It took you 96 months of grinding to hit your first major milestone, but to replicate that exact same amount of wealth, it will now only take you 48 months. You have literally doubled your speed without working a single hour longer at your job. You went from pushing a heavy car uphill, arms burning and legs shaking, to jumping in the driver's seat and letting gravity pull you down the other side. Your original contributions from year 1 are now a decade old, and they are quietly multiplying in the background. Psychologically, this is where financial anxiety melts into financial calm. You start having years where your portfolio grows by an amount that rivals your annual salary. The stress you didn't even realize you were carrying just lifts away, and you stop checking your portfolio every single day. You realize that all those boring financial rules about patience were completely right. But as good as phase 2 feels, it is just the warm-up for the finale. Welcome to phase 3, which is the 3 years 13, 14, and 15. This is where the human brain actually malfunctions because the math goes completely vertical. The chart starts to look like a hockey stick. In just 3 short years, your portfolio generates another massive block of growth entirely equal to what you achieved in the previous 4 years, which was equal to your first 8. You are now stacking wealth at nearly triple your starting pace. At this point, your monthly contribution barely matters anymore. Yes, keep doing it because discipline is good. But the heavy lifting is now 100% automated. The interest is earning interest on the interest. You will wake up to random days where the market ticks up a tiny percentage, and that daily swing makes you more money than you earn in a whole month at your job. It is a surreal feeling. You feel like you suddenly got rich overnight, but you didn't. You just had the quiet endurance to wait 15 years for the compounding curve to go vertical. This is exactly why the rich get richer. They have the capital and the emotional restraint to live permanently in phase 3, never pulling the money out so they never have to push the car uphill again. But to make this highly tuned machine work, you have to protect it from 3 silent killers. Killer number 1 is friction, specifically management fees. If you are paying a 2% fee to a guy in a tailored suit who underperforms the market anyway, you are dragging a heavy anchor behind your speedboat. 2% sounds like nothing. But over a 15-year cycle, it eats a massive chunk of your exponential growth and flattens your hockey stick. Keep your costs incredibly low, buy boring global equity index funds, and let the math work without friction. Killer number 2 is the safe haven trap. When the market drops by 20%, people panic, sell their investments, and shove the cash into a high-yield savings account or premium bonds. They think they are being smart and safe, but they just killed their engine and drained the fuel. Inflation will quietly eat that money alive, and they will never experience the 4 or the 3. If you understand the 15-year timeline, a market crash in year 4 is not a disaster, it is just a clearance sale at the store. You are buying assets at a steep discount, loading the springs so that when the market recovers, your compounding accelerates even faster. Killer number 3 is the illusion of a shortcut. There is always a guy at the pub who tells you he tripled his money in a week buying a random cryptocurrency. People pull out their hard-earned wealth to chase these speculative investments, trying to cheat the timeline. 6 months later, they are sitting in a financial advisor's office with $12,000 left from a $40,000 nest egg, wishing they had just left it alone. Real wealth is a 15-year project, minimum. If you want to get rich quick, you will probably end up broke forever. It is the ultimate get-rich-slow scheme, but unlike the quick schemes, this one actually works. Knowing this changes your entire relationship with money. It forces you to zoom out. Instead of asking what stock is hot right now, you start asking what boring, repeatable system you can sustain for 15 years. You set up the automated transfers, treating your monthly investment like a non-negotiable tax you pay to your future self. You learn to walk away and let time do the heavy lifting. If you put money into the market, mentally write it off. It is gone for the next 5 years, so do not check it. The cost of delay is not just the money you failed to invest today. The true cost of delay is the time you stole from your future exponential curve. You can always hustle and earn more money later in life, but you cannot manufacture more time. If you wait until you are 40 to start taking this seriously, you will not hit that vertical climb until you are 55. You are running out of runway. The magic requires time. Plant the tree, water it, and for the love of money, do not dig it up every 6 months to check on the roots. So, here is the question you need to ask yourself today. When you look at your own financial life, where are you standing? Are you grinding through the heavy lifting of the boring 8 years, feeling the momentum shift and the acceleration of the 4, or have you finally reached the sheer velocity of the exponential 3? If you found value in this breakdown, like the video, share it with a friend who is about to make a terrible financial mistake, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the psychology of money. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.